Hello and welcome to Note This Only Trash Here podcast, episode 94. The date today is the 18th of October 2015. So October! How did that happen again? I know this is quite a cliched thing to talk about at this point, about where does the time go, but we're right in it. We're right in the middle of busy game season, and it feels like E3 was only like 2 months ago, which is a lie.
You're old.
No, don't call me old. You're old.
You're older. Therefore, time passes faster for you.
Is that true?
Yes.
Is that science?
Well, yes, it's maths.
Is it maths though?
Yep.
Is it really though?
Yeah. Because I'm gonna get complicated, Tom. Just ask if you're not if you can't keep up.
Okay.
A month for you,
for me,
relatively to me, is a smaller part of your life. Therefore, It feels shorter.
Yeah, but it's only by like a few months though, so if we actually do the percentages and how many months we've all lived, it's 12 months in a year, and it's like 22 of those, so it's like 260 around there. So percentage-wise, it's only going to be like 0.1% difference.
Don't use any maths like magic on me. I've just said the reason. That's why. I happen to think October has strolled by at a leisurely pace.
Yeah? Did you feel like you had a full and busty September?
I wouldn't say busty.
I would say busty.
No, I wouldn't say busty. I don't think it's busty until next week. But that's when Bond comes out. But I think it's been good.
Wait, hold on. I guess a week to the day that this episode will be coming out, it's all busty Bond.
It's busty, boombastic Bond back in action.
Telefantastic.
Oh God, not that song.
It's making a comeback.
Which episode is this of the podcast? I missed it.
94.
94. Okay, all right. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
And also, the reason why it feels like it's already October is because we haven't done podcast in a while.
Yeah, that too. Because last week you selfishly said you couldn't do it, and the week before I selfishly said I couldn't do it. So now here we all are.
Wait, I said, I couldn't do it last week. Yeah, that's true. Here we are indeed. But we're here with lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we got quite a busty podcast prepared. A nice bus full of topics to dive into.
Well, I say that because, just to make this clear, I don't have a clue what Tom has on his note page. Like, it could be anything. It doesn't tell me.
Yeah, there used to be a time where we would talk about it beforehand and just really get a feel of things. Mm-hmm. But then it became very apparent that the topics, there were just not as many. I don't know what happened, but the list dwindled and it was not as bustful as it once was. No. So now I just don't bother, and we just it's easier to improvise when Joe doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
And to be honest, even if I did know, I wouldn't know anyway.
Yeah. So even if I explained it beforehand, all you could do is Google it and be like, I've never heard of that.
Yep, that's exactly it.
You're making up some bollocks.
It makes no difference, really. Except it's a nice surprise for me now, so it's even better.
There we go. See, it's all for you, Joe, in a very real way.
Thanks.
All for Mojo.
Yep.
Right, well, you want to get to the first topic?
If it's good.
It's a doozy.
Okay.
It's the Star Wars Battlefront beta.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're about a week late on this, but to be fair, it was extended by a day, so technically we're recording this on Sunday, so this Monday before you could have done it, so technically it's all fine, it's all good. But yeah, so there was the Star Wars Battlefront beta. It was extended by a day. I don't know exactly how long it ran for. I think it was 5 days in total in the end. And what it was a free demo that, it felt like a demo that anyone with a PS4 or an Xbox One, and I think on PC as well, could download and play by just going to the store and downloading it. And it had Walker Assault, which was the Hoth map, where it was 20v20, and you had the Rebels versus the Empire. You had... what was that mode called? Oh, I forgot.
Pod. I don't know what it's called.
The pod one, yeah.
Pod capture.
Pod capture. It was pretty much pod capture. Why not? That's how much I played it. And that was like 8v8, I think, and it was on one of the new planets, Solace, I think it's called. And then there was a survival mode, but that was on Tatooine, and it was 2 players, and that was only 5 waves. And overall, with the beta, I had a pretty good time, but it confirmed all my positive things I thought the game was going to be, and it confirmed all the negative things that the game was going to be. But at its core, it's a fun game, and I definitely enjoyed it. But yeah, all those basically a lot of the problems that Titanfall had, and all of my complaints about that game, I think are going to apply to this one as well, which is not surprising because it's another EA first-person shooter on major consoles.
Has it? I mean, are you still going to get it?
I'm still going to get it. But yeah, so like I said, it's fun. When I was playing Hoth, it was fun. All the sounds were right. There was a big battle going on. You had all these lasers going on, but they were actual people shooting lasers. It was really cool to see. The graphics were amazing, like just amazing to look at. Really gorgeous game. It definitely felt like you were part of the Star Wars universe, and you know, it had a lot of the stuff from traditional game or first-person games that we're now used to in online shooters, but also it still had a mix of some of that older stuff. And playing as Luke is fun, playing as Darth Vader is fun, jumping in the ships is cool. But it's the content is just not going to be there. It's just not going to be there. The Hoth battle is cool, but there's only so many times you can play that battle and still be excited by it. And seeming how I'm assuming we're only going to have that many types of big battles, the 20v20 matches, on there's probably only going to be 1 per planet. So that's going to be 4. And then you got to play all these smaller matches. It's not what Battlefront is really about. You want the big battle. And only having 4 of those, it's just not enough content. It's just not enough.
I mean, is it definitely 4?
Well, yeah, it's 4 planets, and then 2 weeks after release, if you pre-order the game, you get the Battle of Jakku, or whatever.
Jakku.
Jakku. So they're going to have... So you got 1 new planet with Solace, and then we're going to get another new planet. As in, when I say new planet, I mean from Episode 7. So, before Christmas, there'll be 5, but even with that Jakku one, we're only going to get 2 new maps with that DLC. And then you'll have to get the Season Pass if you want to get all that content. But it's just a shame, because I think the problem is that Drop Zone. It was called Drop Zone.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Drop Zone was bad. I don't know if you liked it, but it was pretty bad.
I think I didn't like the map, but I think it was okay, that actual gameplay. The map was dull. It was so terrible.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The thing that's really cool about Battlefront and what makes it work with the map design is that about half the maps at least take place indoors. So that makes it very chaotic. Even the outdoor maps have a lot of indoors areas to them. And yeah, it makes it very chaotic. You have all these different types of soldiers just swarming all these corridors. And it's really exciting. It gets very messy, but in a good way, in the way you want. So then you're swarming down corridors and stuff. I'm saying corridors a lot, but I love corridors in Battlefront.
Who doesn't?
And then this Drop Zone map was just one open, generic, lava-esque rock.
It was just a rock. I mean, what was that out of the new film?
Yeah, it's one of the new planets.
God, okay. So they have rock. It was just a rock.
Yeah, it was just a rock. There was 1 building that you couldn't go into, I think. I don't know. I didn't play Drop Zone that much because it's just a generic online shooter mode where what you do, a pod will fall down to the ground and then each team tries to capture it, and whoever captures the most pods wins, which is fine. I mean, that's fine, but it's just not... It just wasn't that good, and the map wasn't that good. So I just personally stuck to Hoth. Because even though it was the same map over and over again, at least it was, like, fun.
I mean, I got to admit, I didn't actually play it that much. I played maybe a couple of hours. And then I didn't get bored, I just went away and did something else. The Hoth one was good. I didn't think it was big enough for Hoth, though. Didn't feel very big.
Well, I really liked the structure of it, which was, because obviously 20v20, you can't have it too big, or it's just going to dwarf everything. Like with Battlefield, I think the maps are bigger, but you spend a lot of time just you would jump in a Jeep in Battlefield and drive to where you need to go, or jump in a tank, or, something like that. And obviously here that wasn't an option, you just had to be able to spawn and get into the action quite quickly. So I feel like that's why the maps were smaller. But I like the structure of it though, because the Rebels would have two, uplinks they have to defend, but there were 3 different sets of uplinks in the map, so you logically progress through it. So I think with that, it was a big map, you just only concentrated in 1/3 of it each time. And I think that was a really good compromise and works really well. Especially at the very end there where you have the flat plains, and as the Empire you just have to storm down all these trenches, and then you have the Rebels, like, when you're the Rebels you're like maybe on a turret and you just see all the Empire just coming towards you. I think that was really cool. So for me, I don't know, I think there was enough players that it felt populated, and it still felt pretty big. I still got a sense of scope.
See, I reckon you could have that thing where it's big and you need to travel. Where were the Tauntauns? Where? They weren't there.
Well, that's a good point.
They were sorely missed by me. And I'm sure many other people.
Well, it's something I didn't think about yet, but yeah, you're right. A big part of playing Hoth in Battlefront 2 was seeing some idiot on a Tauntaun and then you shoot his Tauntaun and he falls off. It's like, no! Then he's just exposed.
Yeah, it's very distressing.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought, I tweeted something. I'll try and remember what I tweeted. Oh yeah, not enough Star Wars music.
See, I think that was weird because I felt that the Star Wars music that was there was really horned in.
Did you?
And just wasn't very natural.
I didn't hear it. I think I heard the main thing once.
Well, yeah. So you don't get a constant track throughout. But I don't know if you really need one, because a big part with these big games, and something I personally enjoy, is that the sound design is really good, so you actually hear the battle all around you. So I kind of liked hearing that, and of course all the music would do is overshadow that. So I kind of honestly preferred to hear all the laser fire and everything going on over the Star Wars music. But yeah, didn't you hear it? You would just the theme would just kick in randomly.
No, I
for 10 seconds and then go away again.
Well, yeah, I definitely heard that once. But yeah, no, I guess you're right. I mean, people have been praising the sound design a lot, and all the blaster sounds. It's so good, and blah blah blah. So I guess that's probably why, is that you can actually hear it. Another thing, I'm here to moan, by the way, because that's all I can really do.
Yeah, that's fine.
The spawning. Messed up. Terrible.
In what way?
Well, as I said, I only played for a couple of hours, but every time I played on Hoth especially, not so much on the other one, but Hoth, it was, spawn kills a lot of the time, a large percentage of it, because you were spawned in just a completely wrong area.
I saw a little bit of that, but I saw it on the other side. Where if you you could see where the Rebels were spawning.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played as Empire on Hoth.
Never.
I was only Rebels. No, I was never Empire.
Oh, I did both a lot. Every single time you beat a game, you get switched to the other team. So if you play 2 games in a row, you'll play both teams.
I didn't get switched. I don't know what happened then.
You should have done.
I don't know.
That is weird. But, yeah, I did see that where, as the Empire one time, we were able to find where the Rebels were spawning, and we just kind of stood slightly back and just shot them as they came in. So, you're definitely not wrong, but hopefully they kind of do some tweaks and fix that. But
yeah, I suppose that's. I mean, it's not long till it's released, and people are saying, "Oh, I want this changed. I wish they changed this. I mean, they can't do that much with such a short. But they I suppose that's something they can change is spawning. That's quite a simple fix, right?
Yeah, they should be able to relook at or reevaluate the way they do spawning. Because, like, with Battlefield, which is the other FPS they've made, it was very easy because you had 2 camps, and then, you would have to travel where you need to go, and a big part of Battlefield, which they brought into this game, Battlefront, which I actually think is really good, is the whole partner spawn system, where if so in Battlefront, you're teamed up with a random person, or, you can join with a friend and jump into a game, and then you can spawn on each other at any time. So if your friend is still alive and at a certain location, you can just spawn on them. So I think with the spawning, they probably won't, but as long as you have a partner who's competent, you can kind of work together and get decent spawns.
What if you don't have a partner, though?
Well, you get randomly assigned one if you don't have one.
Oh. Ew.
You have to have
I don't want to be a partner with a random person. Screw that. I'm a lone ranger.
The Lone Joe.
Lone Joe.
Well, you don't have to spawn on them.
Ew.
You just press square instead of triangle.
That sounds gross as well. I don't want to do that.
What's gross about it?
I don't want to spawn on anyone.
I want to spawn where I spawn.
Yeah.
Well, you just spawn in the default one.
What default one?
Well, okay, so I don't know if you noticed this, but when you die, you either press square to just spawn normally, or you press triangle to spawn on your partner. So the choice is yours.
Oh, okay.
Padawan.
Uh-huh.
Young Jedi.
Obi-Wan Muckluckable.
No, not Obi-Wan Muckluckable.
We've been through this.
It's so hard to say. It's just so hard.
Right, what else can I moan about? The whole cards thing is dumb. Why? I just want the classes back. Why? Why are they gone?
I don't know. That does seem a little odd. I don't know. You do get more customization though, and I think with this game, it seems like they're purposely restricting the classes a little bit. I would assume that in the full game, you can switch your weapon to shotgun, sniper rifle, whatever
so you
want.
Just make your own one, effectively.
Yeah, it's just custom classes, and I'm assuming a lot here, but I would assume that you can then create one. Oh no, they said that, didn't they? They said that they said that they weren't doing that.
What?
I'm trying to remember now. It's like been really weird with this game, where they keep announcing stuff they're not doing that normal FPSs, do. But then, now that everyone else has played it, you can see that it still very much plays like a modern FPS. There's just a few things that are a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely run that risk of, oh, well, they stripped out a load of features, so it's going to feel backwards. Because it doesn't feel like Battlefront, like 1 or 2.
No.
Like, absolutely not.
No.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people have been saying this. And I semi-agree with it, where they're just saying how it feels like a bland Battlefield with a Star Wars skin. Because they've essentially just stripped out all the features of Battlefield. And then it's like, oh, it's Star Wars. But, like, the important aspect of them stripping out features is that they keep, all the features of the original Battlefront games. So they kind of have shot themselves in the foot a little bit by trying to, advertise this game and speak about this game, saying like, oh yeah, it's like the original Battlefront, but then have it not be like the original Battlefront really at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Because it doesn't play like it.
No, I mean, it plays fun. I had a good time playing it, but no, it didn't really feel like Battlefront. And it took me way too damn long to work out how to permanently switch to third person. I was doing it every single time manually. Like, maybe there's something in the settings. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird, because I always went first person. I just found that would be easier.
Well, I started playing first person, but then I kept on getting... No, it was something about the aiming is different, so I liked it on third person.
Ah.
I think on the third person it has a little dot. Or maybe it doesn't. I'm sure I changed it for a reason, though, because I'm a noob. and the aiming was easier on third person.
Well, I would assume most people went first person, but I think at the same time, if you want to go third, you can. Although the big disadvantage with third person is that the reason why third person in Battlefront, or the original Battlefront games, was good is for two reasons. The lock-on and the roll, which you now no longer have. So it does seem like a bit of a, it was in the other games, we'll throw it in this one, when really the controls aren't designed around it at all, because you can't roll and you can't lock on. So you're just aiming in third person. Like, it's not different.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You're not selling this game to me, Tom.
Well, I have a lot of complaints, but we keep going back to that point where it's like, at its core, it's a fun game. You can pick up the controller, play a few rounds, and enjoy yourself. It's so easy to pick apart. Like, it's so easy to criticize. It's not hard to break it down. And something that I've mentioned before, the rebels are they're terrible. No one likes playing as the rebels. They're not fun to play as. Like, I can't believe they didn't include the Clone Wars. They were so stupid in that decision. And I only got upset when I started playing it, because I was already upset. And then I started playing as the rebels and being like, this is terrible. No one likes the rebels. It's just a fact.
I don't mind the rebels.
That's because you lose every game anyway, Joe.
I did lose every game, yeah. I did.
I mean, there was a whole thing with this beta that they admitted, saying how, the rebels it was too hard for the rebels to win. So now they're going to make adjustments to Hoth to make it easier for the rebels to win. Because the only times I saw the rebels win was when the teams were uneven. All other times, Empire always won.
Okay, right. I read about this too, and I read an interesting opinion from someone that had obviously played it a lot, and they said that they had seen the rebels win when they worked as a team, when they did the lock on and the orbital strikes, and they did that effectively, and it matches. I mean, it may not be best gameplay, but this person's sort of logic behind it was that it matches the film in that it's supposed to be the mighty Empire against this little group of rebels, and it's supposed to be difficult, and it's supposed to feel like you're going to be outweighed and lose.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, but, I mean, you just instantly from that sentence, not from a gameplay perspective, like, it's not good
that's
from
why
a
I mentioned
gameplay.
it.
Yeah, like, from that angle, it's like, well, then it's not good, is it? And I still think they captured that sense, like what I was saying, with that final battlefield where it's all flat and rebels get the advantage, but the Empire still keep coming forward. I think that gets that sense very well anyway. Like, you definitely get that sense. And the fact that the Empires have 80/80s on their side, like, I think that is still captured pretty well compared to, you don't actually have to have that in the score, and obviously that's going to be really biased in the actual game. So yeah, I don't think they did it on purpose. I think they just messed up with the tweaking and stuff, and they just got it wrong. So they just need to adjust it. But no, the rebels just suck. It doesn't matter. The rebels suck.
They should. You should be able to go in the other team's vehicle, but you can't.
Yeah, that would be cool. That you could capture like a TIE fighter and then just start shooting other TIE fighters.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on with that TIE fighter?
I mean, you used to be able to. No one of those things. Oh, you could do it in the other game, but you could go in anyone's vehicles, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is very, it's more engineered. I mean, that's just a fact. But I don't really dislike that, because I think for the sake of production values, you kind of need it to be slightly more engineered. But it's very engineered. Like, it feels like they have all these engineered scenarios, and we're going to get the main one of the, one engineered big battle for each planet. And then all the custom stuff and all the more varied stuff is going to come from the extra game modes. But none of those game modes reflect Battlefront. None of them seem to be that good. Because they did announce 3 new game modes after the beta. And that was Droid Run, Cargo, and Hero Hunt. So, Droid Run is where there's just 3 points on the map. each team tries to capture as many. You earn points when you capture them.
Is it that little rollerball droid in the trailer?
Maybe. I think that might be it. But that's just... then cargo, which is just kind of capturing the flag. Which is... I mean, it was in the original Battlefront, but nobody ever played it. And then hero hunt, which you may think, ooh, it's like the Mos Eisley Canteen level on Battlefront 2 where everyone plays as heroes and fights each other. No, it's where one person plays as a hero like Darth Vader, and then you have 7 people or whatever on the other team try and take him down. And that's the game.
That doesn't sound too difficult. They didn't seem that strong.
No, they seemed super weak. I tried them both, and they were not that strong.
Yeah. Maybe they beef them up a bit for that mode.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they're, again, tweaks and such. I'm sure they have thought it through. But this so feels like they made all the content, they made all the levels, and like, yeah, that's Star Wars and looks awesome. What game modes should we make? Rather than starting with the game modes and designing the levels, it does seem like they're backtracking with all the environments they made to just try and force all these generic online FPS game modes here, which none of them are going to be that good. They're just not.
No, there's going to be like 2 that are obviously the most popular or something like that. It's going to happen quickly where you'll see which ones are always full or which ones are always busy and which ones aren't.
Which happens in every online FPS, but with Star Wars, it's so going to be everyone's just going to play the modes that are most like Star Wars. Because I really enjoy playing on Hoth, but the big appeal is that, oh, it's Star Wars, this is Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. But then when you're just defending like these capture the flag bollocks on like Sullus, it's like, I don't care. It kind of really falls apart at that point. But with Battlefront, most of those areas, they were based on the film, and you could tell what planets they were from, but they didn't actually recreate that much from the films. Apart from stuff like, Hoth, again a big one, they obviously took that from the film. But if you look at other stuff, like, it was so... They felt like battlefields that you were fighting on that were designed to be battlefields for players to play on, and then they put the Star Wars skin over the top. Like, Coruscant, Camino, Kashyyyk. Again, very much taken from the films, but at the same time, you could tell that they were designed to be fun, and from a gameplay aspect. This doesn't feel like that at all. This just feels a little like I think the best way that I can sum it up is that the people who made this game were fans of Star Wars, so wanted to make a Star Wars game. But they weren't fans of Star Wars Battlefront and wanted to make a Battlefront game. That's just what they happened to get thrown into. Because it feels like a Star Wars game, but it's not Battlefront. And that's a massive difference. There's a massive difference between those two. And it just feels like it's going to be a game that I'm going to play for like a week and then never want to touch again. And that's a shame, because Battlefront 2 I played for years.
I think, looking back with hindsight, that's probably quite true, because I remember seeing that video where they're like, oh, we delved into the LucasArts archives and now every blaster is accurate to a T of the props, and the snow speeders are done with the blueprints, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's all very good. I mean, I'm sure it looks great, but how much attention are we going to pay to those when we're playing the game? No, the gameplay. That's kind of important too.
That thing you're making, the game. The one.
Here's how I can sum it up. My little couple of hours on the beta. I was really impressed by the menus.
Really?
Yeah, I liked the menus.
I thought they were fine.
I liked the menus. I was like, yeah, they look good, and then I stopped playing.
With the menus, I thought it really showed off how little content the game had.
Really?
You're like, right, let's play some Battlefront. Oh, there's multiplayer and there's that. Okay, there's multiplayer. All right.
Well, there is little content, but what it was, I thought it was nice. It was crisp, I think. Good word to describe it.
I guess. I just felt it was overcompensating for the fact that it didn't have much content. Like, let's just make all the boxes big. Let's make the multiplayer box really big. So people are like, yeah! Multiplayer! Or stuff like that. Like, it just felt like every option you selected, like, filled the screen for no good reason.
I liked it.
Well, if you like, I mean, I like the music in the menus. That was nice.
The menus were solid.
They were fine. They were fine. But no, so we got some other disappointing news about Battlefront. Okay, so let's quickly go back to my point, right? Because my points are worth revisiting. They my point about them not being Star Wars fans and not Battlefront fans is so like, what's the word, like, amplified and so like concrete based on the fact that they did include the Clone Wars. Like, anyone who played Battlefront 2 would know you would have to include them. But obviously, if you went to just a generic Star Wars fan and be like, oh, what do you think of the Clone Wars era versus the Galactic Civil War, they'd be like, well, the 5th film's the best one, so the prequel trilogy, what a load of old bollocks. And they'd be like, alright, well then, that's what we focus on. But if you was like a Battlefront 2 fan, like anyone that played it, you would say, yeah, it was pretty cool to play on Hoth, but it was cooler to robots versus the Republic. That's 10 times cooler. Like, anyone who played the game, anyone would say that. Joe, you better.
No,
I
don't know about that.
I swear to God, Joe. I swear to God.
I liked fighting against them, but I never liked playing as the droids.
I loved playing as the droids.
I never liked playing as the droids. It's always... I don't mind blowing them up, though.
What about the super battle droids? They were well fun.
No.
What is this? Okay, so would you pick the rebels over the droids?
To play as?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd pick rebels.
Oh.
Definitely pick the rebels.
Oh, why?
Because the droids suck.
They don't suck. They're so fun.
You suck.
You get droidicas. You get the super battle droids. That's all you need.
Well, I don't know why I never played as them as a kid. I just never did.
Oh.
Rebels or Empire.
Wait, so rebels are above the Republic?
They all look the same to me. It's like, oh, they're stormtroopers.
The Republic was awesome.
Like clones, rebels, stormtroopers.
So cool.
It's all the same sort of stuff. But droids were like, ew.
It's not the same. It's different. You're part of the problem, not part of the solution.
That's fine. Happy to be.
God damn it, Joe. Listen, okay, so ignoring your opinion,
everyone else.
The majority, I wouldn't say everyone else, the majority of people would say that that's more fun. Because when you look at the prequel, trilogy, that's the best kind of part of it. Like, if they showed off more of the Clone Wars and didn't turn into a, less than average animated series, that's kind of the coolest part. It's just the part they didn't focus on. But being able to play that in Battlefront, you really kind of realize the potential of that war. And it was really fun. But being the rebels is not. You really like the voice acting of the rebels and all the stupid things they said.
I like the Roger that the droid said.
Yeah.
But you could hear that not playing as them, right? They'd say that?
Well, yeah, if you were shooting them, but you would have to play as the Republic.
That's fine. Listen, next time I play Battlefront 2, I'll play the droids, and... I mean, I'm not saying I hate them, it's just I never played as them.
Well, okay, here's another question. When you played Battlefront, what was your main class?
Regular Stormtrooper.
See, there we go. So then you should like the droids, because the super battle droids were really good.
Why is that? Why?
They're just good.
But why would that mean I should like them? I don't understand.
Because, okay, so I was thinking that maybe you played another class, so like, I don't know, the Wookiees or some bollocks. But if you're not playing as them, then the normal class is the normal class no matter who you
play.
I
see what you mean. Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Really like the rebels with their dumb helmets? Their terrible tanks?
Who's with the speeder bikes on Kashyyyk?
Kashyyyk?
Yeah.
That was the droids, I think.
Did the droids have the No, it must have been the rebels that had speeder bikes, right?
No, because the droids were assaulting. Okay, so the droids had the cool roller tanks.
How could a droid ride a bike?
It was great. It was hilarious. But it was great. I swear it was them.
Well, in the films, isn't it the Empire that have the speeder bikes?
Yeah, but on Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk was only in the prequel trilogy.
Right, I'm looking this up. Phil.
No, because the Republic had the big wooden walls and the turrets. So the CIS had the roller tanks and the speeder bikes.
Uh-huh. Okay, no, yeah, I think you're right.
Woo!
Scout... Oh, no, is it... Oh, whatever, who cares? Who really cares at the end of the day?
Listen, I care.
No, we don't.
Because you... Okay, so here's the disappointing thing. And the point I was going to get to before I started complaining again. They announced about the season pass for Battlefront.
Yes. Expensive.
And it's going to be £40, and you're going to get 4 DLC packs with that, which is based on the structure of the game. That probably means one planet and like a survival mode, and then maybe an extra skin or weapon with each pack, which is terrible because I have been actively campaigning to have it where you just do one big DLC pack to include the Clone Wars. That's what I wanted. That would be fair enough. That would logically make sense. Because then you would have the original game, which is all about the original Star Wars films, and everyone would be like, hey, the good films. But then you could still have the DLC for the people who enjoyed the Clone Wars, for true fans of Star Wars Battlefront. But no, they're just going to do 4 bland DLC packs. And I know we could speculate, me and you could talk about, they might do Mustafar. I don't care. I don't care. It's 40 quid and you're not even going to give me my droids.
Can I ask you, a little question? Where's this campaigning you've been doing?
Active campaigning.
Yeah, where's this active campaigning?
Listen, it's more a subconscious campaign.
You've just been thinking really hard, like.
Well, I've been implanting the idea in everyone's minds without them even realizing.
Okay.
So that's probably why you're not aware of all the great work I've done. But I have been actively doing that. So okay. Brainwashing. Yeah. That's what I would call it.
Inception-like sort of thing. Planting the idea.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Diving into people's minds. I mean, it's been a whole thing. I've been in like 200 people's mind this week, and it's felt like a good 50 years. But when it's actually only been a week. That's why it feels like October. So, October,
I see.
Yeah.
Sounds
the
horrible.
Active droid mind washing.
Yeah.
Brainwashing.
Takes its toll.
Yeah, it's rough. On the old... mentally, it's rough. Physically, it's great, but mentally... That's how they get you.
So, are you going to spend £40?
No!
And get the season pass?
No!
Thank goodness for that.
That's so bad. Because... I don't know how companies think that's still okay. I don't know how... Like, Batman Arkham Knight.
When did that become okay? When did it become okay?
I don't know, but it's now become a sort of a standard. I'm trying to think. There was a game that's coming out that said that, it's only going to be like 25 quid for us, which nowadays that seems quite generous.
Isn't it Fallout 4?
Yeah, Fallout 4. But with Fallout 4, it's a single-player game. You're going to get new areas to explore, new missions. It's going to be DLC worthwhile getting. And for 25 quid, no less.
Uh-huh.
But with this one, 4 DLC packs, 40 quid. Not justified in any way. In any way. And the Batman one wasn't justified. Even though it was single-player content. 40 quid... The problem with 40 quid season pass is that you don't know what you're getting. You can't just... You're practically begging at this point. You're just like, oh, give us 40 quid. We'll give you some cool stuff. No, we're not going to kickstart your DLC project. We don't care.
It is pretty terrible. I mean, £40 is a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
But it's for nothing. It's for a promise of we're going to give you some DLC later. And the sickening thing is that you save money if you buy it. Because if you brought it all individually, it'll probably be more like 50 quid. Once you actually know what it is.
Mamma mia.
That's a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy meatball.
Indeed.
That should be said more often. I feel like that's not said enough. Just in general.
Not. It really, just in casual conversation, you know.
Yeah, no, it needs to be brought up more. Let's make an effort to do that for all future podcasts.
Just like, yeah, that's a spicy meatball. Just in casual conversation, like it's not even a thing.
And then every now and then throw out a proper full-on, that's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, then they're like, woo! Yeah!
Okay, good.
Something like
right,
that.
Glad I got that sorted. Please do go on.
Yeah. But it's just like you can't ask 40 quid for something you don't know what you're getting. Period. Just flat out. No debate, no argument. You can't just ask for 40 quid for something we have no idea what it is. You can't do that. You just can't do it.
But people are going to do it, Tom.
I know.
They're going to do it.
Have you heard, like, EA are expecting to sell, like, 9 to 10 million copies of Battlefront?
Yep.
That's not going to happen.
I think it's because it must be a proper... What's the word? Money something. Money pit. No, I don't know what it is.
Cash cow?
They've sank a lot of money into it, and they're going to need to make a profit, basically.
Well, yeah, this happens all the time with these sort of big companies. But yeah, like, I don't think it's going to sell that much because, okay, so the beta, 9 million people played it, but I guarantee that a lot of those people walked away saying we didn't really like that much. I'm not spending money on the full game, which we know happened. We already talked about it. You know, a stripped down version of Battlefield with the Star Wars theme. A lot of people feel that way, and I don't feel like EA are going to turn those people around before release. And when you're releasing a game like Star Wars Battlefront in November, you got to really compete. If you're going to go up against Fallout 4 and Call of Duty, you really got to bring your A game. And I don't think with people's impressions of Star Wars Battlefront from the beta, it's just not going to sell that many. I mean, like I said, I know I'm still going to buy it because I kind of have to buy it and play it, but it's going to be a letdown. That's kind of guaranteed.
Why do you have to buy it and play it?
I kind of have to buy it. You kind of have to buy it and play it.
I probably won't.
Oh.
But see, I was just thinking about this. Like, I probably won't. Oh, it'll be one of those games I get later on when it's cheap. But then, if it's just a multiplayer game, that's probably not a wise idea either.
So, well, yeah, because everyone will be really buffed out, or will have the season pass.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I reckon January sales, you're pretty good for those. You know, only 2 months after release, a lot of people still playing. I think you'll be good post-Christmas.
Okay. But you're going to get it when, like, first day?
Well, now I'm kind of doubting myself because I know Black Ops 3 is going to be really good, and I know Fallout 4 is going to be really good. But Star Wars Battlefront, like even Titanfall, I had my problems with the content and the way that was handled. You know, they released essentially half a game because it was kind of embarrassing. But with this one, it's never going to get better. And Titanfall had more content than Star Wars Battlefront does. And Titanfall was awesome. But this is just like, I think it's just going to wear off too quickly. Yeah. Just far too quickly. And as we've already said, it's not really Battlefront. And I might have to drop it off the list of games I'm definitely going to get. I haven't pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered Black Ops 3 and Fallout 4. I haven't pre-ordered this. I haven't pre-ordered it.
I've pre-ordered nothing.
Nothing.
So I'm fine. I'm good.
Well, I've got the season pass, of course, though, but that's like different. You know, you kind of have to get that.
Oh yeah, I mean the season pass about the game is great.
Yeah, but again, like It all comes back to the game itself is fun. It's just that issue of content and presentation and not really being Battlefront. It's where it all kind of falls down. And when you're having to spend 40 quid on the game when it comes out, and then you're being asked to spend another 40 quid, so it's an 80 quid game essentially if you want a decent amount of content, that's where it just completely collapsed. And EA should be embarrassed, quite honestly.
At that point, it needs to be more than fun. It needs to be great. And it's not.
Yeah, it needs to be something that you're going to play for a couple of months at least.
Right. Yeah.
Right, any last thoughts on Battlefront before we move on?
As menus did look good.
Good menus.
Yeah.
I mean, my final thought is that it's still a game that had tons of potential. There's a lot of good things going for it. But in this day and age, when you got to compete against tons of other great AAA games, if you're going to have like a piss poor structure and you're going to have a terrible company like EA behind you, that's all it takes. You can have good gameplay, but that's all it takes. Just a bad company who doesn't know what it's doing.
Well, that's depressing. Moving on, what is the next piece of news depressing?
Right, no, this is going to be positive, I hope.
Yeah.
So, this week, we got a new trailer for...
What did we get a new trailer for? Fallout?
No, Ratchet and Clank movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh.
Missed that completely.
Whoops. Okay, so basically, yeah, so it's now been confirmed that it's coming out in April next year. So I would assume that the game's coming out in April next year. And the trailer, I don't know. If you want to quickly watch it while I ramble on about my thoughts, you can reconnect. You got it? Okay.
Yep, I'm watching it.
So I think it looks really good. I think it matches the style of the Future series on the PS3, which again is a smart move. And the most impressive thing about this film and the game is that they look exactly the same. I heard something crazy that I don't know if it's 100% true, but I heard that the model in the film is the same, or the model of Ratchet in the film is the same model as in the game. Like the exact same model, maybe a few tweaks obviously, but like it's the same model. So that's pretty cool. The film, I don't know if it's actually going to be funny. I think the animation looks great. I think in terms of reinventing the story or the origin story looks pretty cool. I love that there's Quark. I mean, at this point you can't have Ratchet and Clank without Quark, so there's plenty of that. They've got like the original voice actors for like Ratchet and Clank and all that kind of stuff. Not all of them. The only thing I didn't really like, there's two things I'm not a fan of that I've heard. The first one is that apparently Dr. Nefarious is in this film, which is so unnecessary. Just so completely unnecessary. It really sounds like they're just ramming as much Ratchet and Clank mythology, well, mythology is not the right word, but like characters that have been in the game as possible. When with the first Ratchet and Clank game, it was just Chairman Drek and Captain Quark, and it worked just fine. And that could translate. You could expand on it, but it would still translate. But I don't know why they have to have two villains in the film. That seems like it's just not going to work out. Maybe they have a story where it all makes a little bit more sense, but Chairman Drek's the villain. He's the villain. It's him. We've been waiting for years for a return of Chairman Drek, because Dr. Nefarious has been in a ton of games. But this is Chairman Drek. And speaking of Chairman Drek, him in the film looks a bit... He seems generic. He doesn't seem that evil, because that was his whole thing. He's really evil, but like actually evil, and doesn't care. He's just blowing up planets, and he's like, yeah, I blow up planets. That's what I do. I don't care. It's just the thing I'm into. I blow up planets to make my own planet, and I just don't care. I'm evil. I make money. Like, he was just super evil, and it was great to watch and really entertaining. But here he just sounds like, I'm gonna get you. I'm going to destroy the universe. Like, they seem to have just stripped him down to just another, it's a cartoon villain. Yay. Like, it's like there's more they could have done. And it's not the original voice actor. I think it's I think it's like John Goodman or something like that.
I was just looking it up because that's the one thing I've just watched it. I'm like, hang on, that doesn't sound like Chairman Drek, and that's annoying because his voice is really good in the game. That what makes half his characters the voice, and it's
and they've just reinvented his look, changed his voice. That's not really Chairman Drek.
It's Paul Giamatti.
Right, I've never heard of him.
I recognise face, but no, I don't really know what it's from.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit of a shame. Because I don't know how much you just heard of me rambling, Joe, but my point is that Chairman Drek was only ever in one game, but Dr. Nefarious, who's going to be in the film, has been in a ton. So this should have been Chairman Drek's time to come back and shine and be classic and be awesome, but they're not really doing him justice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds a bit odd, unless it's like he appears at the end of the film to set up a sequel or something. This guy, this is completely unrelated now, but Paul Giamatti, you'll know him as Rhino from The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, him. Oh, I know him.
It's him.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it used to be impressive where you would get a celebrity for an animated film and like, oh, wow, I didn't realize. Oh. Like, it used to be a really impressive, cool thing, but now it's just so standard that it's kind of hard to care when anyone gets hired for any film.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm also wondering, is the janitor guy, is he actually voiced by, what's his face?
Oh, the guy from Scrubs.
Yeah, in the middle.
Neil. Is it Neil?
Yeah, I think it is Neil something. Yeah, I can't see him on the voice cast, though.
No! Neil Flynn.
Yes, that's it. That's disappointing. Maybe he's not in the... He should be in the film.
He should be in the film.
Oh.
He's like such a big part of the series. Neil Flynn. Yeah, he's a massive part of the Ratchet Clank series. For those who don't know, Neil Flynn, who plays the janitor in Scrubs, he did like a ton of voices in the first Ratchet Clank game. And then he continued to do a few more later on as well. And he was always the water worker.
Yeah.
But I'm having a look, he was only in the first 3 original Ratchet Clank games. But he did 5 different voices in the first Ratchet Clank game. And he's not in the film.
Oh.
That's criminal. A crime has been committed.
But I did hear some of the things you were saying. I can't say much. I just watched it, but it looks nice. The animation looks nice.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice looking game.
Very pretty looking
film.
I
still think it still looks good.
I think it'll be worth a viewing.
I'm definitely gonna go see it.
Yeah,
sure.
I do wonder. So he says that the model is the same as in the game.
Yeah, this is something I don't know. This is something I've heard through the grapevine.
Yeah.
But again, you can see it. If you look at screenshots of the game and the film, it is very similar. And this is like a point that we've been approaching for a while. You know, like you always kind of think, like 10 years ago, you kind of think, oh, one day game graphics are going to match like films and things like that. But now we've actually hit a point where it's happened. And it's not actually been that big of a deal, but it should be a massive deal that you got a film and a game that look like exactly the same coming out at the same time.
Yeah. It's a bit annoying it's called Ratchet and Clank, though.
What would you like for it to be called?
I don't know, it's got the same name.
Well, it's not a reboot, but it's a retelling of the origin, so...
Well, it's a remake. It should be called Ratchet and Clank, the remake.
Rebooted up the butt. Rebutted.
Rebutted.
There we go. Time to kick some asteroid.
I was just reading about it. No, okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think the film looks good. I mean, there's not much to talk about with the game. The game's going to be awesome. Can't wait to play it. But with the film, that's a little bit more interesting. Because a lot of films based on games usually aren't that good. But this one, you know, they seem to be doing it right. involving a lot of the original people. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but a good chunk of them. I don't know why Dr. Nefarious is in it. That seems...
You need to stop campaigning for the droid stuff and start campaigning for Neil Flynn to be in the film.
I'm okay.
Add it to your list. It can be done.
The list of things I need to actively campaign with brainwashing.
Yep.
Well, it's a long
list.
Flynn?
Where's Neil Flynn?
Where's my burrito? See, that's so weird that you mentioned that before. Because, that episode is such a classic episode. It's one that a lot of people think is the best one ever.
Yeah.
And it's because of the quotes. Nobody ever quotes, "Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?"
It's great. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a great quote. But in an episode like that, where you got like Lisa needs braces and things like that, nobody quotes the burrito one.
They're missing out. Dental plan Lisa needs braces is good, but so is burritos. Show the burritos some loving.
Campaign for the burrito.
Where's my burrito?
But no, I'll definitely see the film in the cinema when it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a yes from you? I mean, you don't have to. It's fine.
No, I will.
Nice.
April.
That's the one. Because I know at this point in time you've only played the first game, so you're not like an active fan of it, of the series, that is.
Oh, I played one other as well.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't really count. I wasn't really there emotionally.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. All for One was All for One, and it was good. Good times.
Okay, good.
I did forget about that.
It wasn't that long ago.
Well, you say that. I was still at uni when we did that. So I would guess like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Old Tom again. Oh,
it was a different time.
So long ago.
Back when your Battlefronts had droids in it.
It goes with the joy stuff again.
Oh, the droids!
Just leave him in the corner. It'll quieten down in a minute.
No.
Just wheel you over there.
Sleep for Tom.
But no, I'm not like a massive diehard Ratchet and Clank fan. No.
Diehard.
I'm not a diehard fan.
I've played 2 games. A bit of a diehard fan.
I'd die for Ratchet and Clank.
That's good of you. Oh no, it was like a year and a half. Feb 2014. Well, there we go.
Yep.
Boo answer that, that's what I say.
Wow.
But speaking of Ratchet and Clank, there's one more thing I want to bring up. And that's... Hold on, I better double check this before I look like an idiot. So, basically I put out my review of Ratchet Clank 2, which I got quite a few things to say about that. First of all, it took bloody long enough. I started that review about a year and a half ago.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's a spicy meatball.
That's certainly a spicy meatball. But yeah, so because what happened is that I was going to do like the first 3 games back to back. So I did the first review, put it out there. Before that was even done, I started work on the second one, almost finished it. I wrote like 2,000 words, recorded the whole game. Then I had to move like to another part of the country. And then after I settled in, my PS3 broke. So then it took me a year to buy a new one because they're expensive. I don't have the money. And then, yeah, I finally got around to doing it and put it out there. And I think it turned out pretty good. But while doing research for it and such, I found a YouTube channel called Useless Podcasts. Like all this one word.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because basically 2 of the people who worked at Insomniac, Mike and Tony, who Mike was a level designer and Tony was a programmer for Ratchet and Clank and the original games. they've done an LP of the games. They've called it Developer Commentary. And it's them playing through the game and just talking about it.
Ratchet Clank 2?
They've done 2 and 3. And they're currently doing 1. Although they technically didn't work on 1. So I don't know if they're still properly doing it. But they've done 2 and 3. Where they helped make the games. And they're actually just talking over the top of them. And pointing out stuff. Now, the Ratchet Clank 2 one is now like 4 years old. And the audio's a little bit rough. And the video quality. But it's really interesting. Like, super interesting stuff. Obviously, these people aren't naturally, like, YouTube. You know, it's not what they do. They make video games. So it's not slick, as you would say. But it's still really good. Really good stuff. Like, in Ratchet & Clank 2, there's a part early on in the game where you have to use this device where I can't remember what it's called, but you can like pick things up with it basically. And there's this whole section on one of the planets where you're using different puzzles with it. And apparently the guy who's, you know, Mike, the level designer, was saying how terrible it was and how it does there's like a ton of mistakes like in that. And then how later down the years, like everyone like took the piss out of him for it because he was only a junior designer at that time, and there's just a ton of flaws and a ton of things he would fix. But you know, just playing it normally, you wouldn't really think twice about it. But this guy, like the guy who designed it all, was saying like points out all the stuff that's wrong with it. And you're like, wow, yeah, that they are mistakes. But when I played through the game, I didn't have any troubles with it. It seemed fine, seems fun enough. But yeah, he was saying how like, oh, I would have fixed that. Like, okay, so in the very first room you go into, there's a robot walking around, and you got to pick up the robot and then put him on a panel so the door recognizes that, you know, oh, here's a robot trying to get through the door. It opens the door, you get past the security, and away you go. But he was saying how they had to work really hard to make it clear that the player could pick up the robot with this like gun. But it was really hard to do because people would come in, see a robot, hit it with the wrench. Nothing would happen. They would see a spot on the floor with 2 footprints in, go on that floor, nothing would happen. And then they would go up to the door, hit it with the wrench, nothing would happen. And people just got stuck because it just wasn't really well explained and well designed enough. And the guy was saying how, like, yeah, this was bad. I really kind of messed this one up. So, yeah, really interesting stuff. If you want to see some insight just into how, like, games are made in general, because I have a little bit of an insight, but not really. But these guys are just, like, talking about casual stuff. Like, oh, yeah, Paul worked on that and made that. And then he was saying, I was like, oh, yeah, I designed this part. Or, oh, I programmed that effect into there. Really interesting, and it's just a full LP, but it's like an LP of people who actually made it, so it's really cool. So I know you, Joe, like myself, has watched all the Simpsons commentaries through and through, so if you want something like that, that is available on YouTube for Ratchet & Clank. So definitely check out Useless Podcasts if you're into that sort of thing, if you're a fan of the series, and you want to see a little bit more insight into them.
Okay, 2 things. A,
okay.
That sounds very cool. I like it. B, we seriously need to do some sort of like crossover with them. Oh, nope, there's only Trash Here Podcast and Useless Podcast. I mean, they're both about the same thing.
No, there's only Useless Podcasts.
Exactly. One's trash, one's useless.
Nobody respects themselves.
So, it's just, that's a match made in heaven right there.
Oh, yeah.
Are they still
definitely going? It seems like this Mike guy does this Q&A from time to time. It seems, I'm having a look now, like occasional kind of uploads, but in terms of the actual like main series, I think it's pretty much done.
Damn.
But you know, it's still like 2 full games completely played through with them talking over it, so there's a lot here. And in terms of what stuff they've kind of designed, I think that was what they were mostly involved in.
Okay.
So there might be some more. I've subscribed to kind of keep up on it. They've also done like actual podcasts. So I'm just looking out here. Episode 1, what we think about, small things, cheating in the player's favour, feedback and sequels, controls, design tests. So yeah, it's just like a little bit of insight. It's not breaking everything down, I don't think, but it's still... You get a look at the mindset of people who make games. And for Ratchet and Clank, though, for me, they're so... like, classic games for me. I love Ratchet and Clank, so it was really awesome to find this. And I just kind of stumbled across it. I
mean, I've just looked at it now. I really would have thought it'd have more views than that. I guess maybe people don't... I don't know. But only 13,000 views.
Yeah, the first episode is 13,000, and that's the most they've ever got.
Yeah.
But it's the people. The people. The amount of terrible LPs that people have made of Ratchet and Clank, especially the first game. I think you know what I'm talking about, Joe. And then this person who actually made it talk about it, and they just don't get the views.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
But any average Joe can make an LP of the game and get more views.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. It's like on Reddit threads where there was one where quite recently where Jonathan Nolan posted something on Reddit, and people were like, "Oh my god, it's Jonathan Nolan! Oh my god, you've written all these amazing films." And if you look back on his history of posts, he's done loads of posts, and no one's caught on to the fact it's actually him. And his name is Jonathan Nolan on Reddit. And people and like he's been posting all these Batman threads and Inception and whatever, and people have just been ignoring him. It's like, that's the guy, you realise. He's writing this stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, it shows how it's all marketing in a way, even with YouTube and Reddit and stuff. It's all presentation. It's all being in that mindset, being in that group. That's all it is.
Yep. Sadly,
just knowing it.
It's true.
But yeah, so I'm watching through the second one at the moment, so that's what I'm going to be doing throughout the week, checking this stuff out.
Is this our plug for them? There you go.
No, it's worth plugging.
Yeah, no, plug doesn't have to be a bad thing. Plug's a good thing.
No, I mention it just because, again, as a fan of the series, I've been watching these, and it's like amazing that they even exist. They've been going for, like, this Ratchet and Clank 2 one, 4 years ago it went up. 2011 they did this.
Oh, cool.
So if you're a fan of the series, Useless Podcast, check it out. Do it. Right, so, a game that I think came out this week. I don't know how much we really have to say about it, but I think we kind of have to mention it. Minecraft Story Mode.
Okay.
The Telltale Adventure, the first episode came out to lukewarm reviews.
Is that okay?
So from what I can tell, it's not bad. It's a pretty solid start to the series, but it's nothing like out there. Which I think happens with every single Telltale game in the first episode, but yeah, I don't... Telltale at this point, I don't care about Telltale games. I tried Game of Thrones and it just wasn't very good. There's just zero gameplay. So I don't know how Minecraft handles that, if there is some sort of gameplay. But I have no interest in a game where it's literally no gameplay. And what I mean by that is that you're just walking around talking to people. Like, even in a point-and-click game, there's like puzzles and things to figure out. And in some of the previous games, like The Walking Dead, there's been puzzles and things to figure out. But I think because they're now very much, they just churn these things out, the writing has become the focus, so now there's not much gameplay. And that's what Game of Thrones felt like. So I don't know what Minecraft is like. I don't like Minecraft enough to check it out, but at the moment it hasn't set the world on fire with this first episode.
I watched someone's first episode of it. I got bored. That was the one watching, so yeah. It's not good, really.
Yeah, that's bad. Because Telltale games are made to just watch someone else play.
Yeah. Like you say, I mean, there's no... At least with like a point and click, you can work out see the people working out puzzles or something. But it was literally like, oh, there, let's go look in this chest. Oh, a diamond.
Yay!
I got a diamond. And I don't know what, something goes on. There's a little gang of characters, and one of them's voiced by that guy from King of
World.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's they all do a decent job. They're all little characters, but it's just so boring. Minecraft is a game it doesn't work in that regard. But that being said, I'm sure that loads of kids have bought it and played it, so they've got the money.
Well, yeah, it seems like it's designed for kids.
Yep.
Exclusively.
Yep.
Where Minecraft is more of a sandbox open world a kid can enjoy, and so can someone older. But this seems to be more exclusively, it's a kid thing.
It's definitely a kids thing.
Which is fine, but it's crazy that Minecraft is so catered to kids at this point. No offense, Joe. I'm not attacking you for still playing it after all these years, but it's, from my experience as someone who doesn't play on the outside looking in, it just looks like something for kids at this point. It's just something to play on the iPad. Like, there's a reason why the iPad version is so popular and the console versions are so popular. It's because kids play it.
Oh yeah, it's true.
And I just don't. It's so catered though. Like, it didn't used to be this way, like at all.
There was. It's the moment I started seeing Minecraft stuff in stores. I was like, oh god, like the plushy toys and the pencil cases and stuff. Oh, right, okay, this is how it's going, is it?
Yeah, that was the step. That was definitely the step. The creeper. When you saw a creeper in a shop and you're like...
Yeah, then the Lego, and it's just, it's everywhere.
Like a kid would enjoy that, but...
No.
I mean, saying that, I'm a big Nintendo guy, and they do the exact same thing, where you go into a shop and see like a Mario toy.
Yes.
And I buy them all the time, so... Amiibos are for everyone, Joe, alright?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be
Not just for kids.
I wouldn't be so against Amiibos if people actually opened them, but people don't, and that's what bugs me.
I have opened 3 of them, so that's pretty good.
That's, alright, at least it's some. At least you actually played with them.
Yeah, I have played with them. It's not playing.
Oh, you tap it in and you do your thing. Can you do it through the box?
No.
Oh. Alright.
Well, there is a lot of people who do open them, by the way.
Is there? The only time I've heard of them is when people are like, oh, I've got to keep them in the box. It'll be mint.
Well, yeah, but that's because that's the more interesting part. And that's like the more obsessive part of it. But there are people who just buy them, open them, and then just have them to have them. It's only people like myself who keep them all boxed and nice.
There's a lot of people like you, Tom.
Yay!
What a horrible world we live in.
Oh. Truly, we are all doomed.
Truly.
But speaking of unboxing, I got my little Jack.
What?
You know what I mean.
Jack and
Don't
Daxter.
make me repeat No, not that one. Jack the Bulldog.
Oh, yes. Yeah. How is it? Is it good?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
There was, I think we talked about this before, maybe not on the podcast, where it was like...
I think it was afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was afterwards, where it was like, if you got one, would you open it? And I was like, I don't know. And you were like, yes, I would. Then I was like, yeah, I'm with you, Joe. And that's what I did. As soon as I got it, I opened it up. And now I have it on my desk.
That's where it needs to be, on the desk. It's like, that's it.
And I don't regret it at all. It's really cool having a little Jack Bulldog there.
I just wish it wasn't cracked. I'd really get it if it was cracked. If it wasn't cracked, sorry. I don't know what it is about it. It just makes you go off it. But it's still Bond, so it's still good. Yeah,
it's still very much Bond. And it's got the British flag on it. So it's like, wee.
If people don't know what we're talking about, by the way, it's that Royal Dalton made the Bulldogs that M had in Skyfall. And they're re-releasing them for Spectre. With a twist.
Yeah, like the originals were just a nice white one, but this one's a little bit worn because it survived an explosion. So now it's got a big crack in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's part of it. It's not like an actual crack. It's part of the
mold.
Part of the look of it.
Yeah.
So it's not actually damaged or anything, but But no, I still think it's super cool. I still really like it.
See, actually, I think I prefer it if it was an actual crack, but I can see why they wouldn't sell that.
Well, you could do that.
I can delicately, a little chisel.
Yeah, you could chisel out where the crack lines are.
Tiny little hammer. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. It must be perfect.
Yes.
And you call me crazy with my amiibos. Indeed.
I didn't buy it. I'll be like that guy at Toy Story 2 who like repaints Woody with that massive eye thing.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
No, but I saw you got that, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
But no, I can see why you're not buying it. Just because if you don't really like the crack, it was 50 quid.
Yeah. I definitely do want to get some Bond thing, but it would have to be... I was looking up, not like the real expensive watches, because obviously Bond wears Rolexes and Omegas and whatever. But I was watching Roger Moore film, and he wears this... I can't remember the name of the watch now. I think it was...
A Roger Moore film?
Yes.
You mean a Bond film, right?
A Bond film, yeah, sorry.
I see.
A Roger Moore Bond film. And... yeah, the watch he wears, and I was like, that's kind of reminds me of Bond. So now I'll see how much they are. Expensive.
Oh.
Yeah, damn. I think it's Seiko or Psycho. I don't know how you pronounce it. It was a digital watch anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna...
But watches aren't the way to go with it. It's going to have to be something else, I think.
Probably just a gun, I reckon.
DB5. Maybe not.
The Vanquish.
It better go invisible, or else I'm not buying it.
No. Not spending that much. But yeah, you're right. You can't get James Bond memorabilia that's kind of worth having. It's either way too expensive, or it's like a pencil case with Timothy Dalton on it. You're just saying,
I'd love a Timothy Dalton pencil case.
They're very hot this year.
I would have used that at school all the time. They'd be like, hey Joe, what's on your pencil case? Timothy Dalton.
That's Mr. Timothy Dalton, 007. Thank you very much.
It's like, oh, get away from me, you weirdo.
Jesus, that's your favourite? You know his name?
Teacher, this kid's creeping me out.
Listen, Joe, you're going to have to step outside with your disgusting pencil case. I'm sorry, kid.
I thought we said leave this at home, Joe. Why is it here again?
I will have no post-Roger Moore Bond memorabilia in my classroom.
Go to the head teacher's office now. You're expelled.
See ya.
There will be something. There'll be something I can get that's small enough. It has to be a prop or like something like that. I might have to make it myself. I'll make a DB5. I'll do something.
Ugh.
I'll
make your own Bond props.
I'll go. What's that website called? The one with all the crap on it. Homemade crap. Pinterest. I'll go.
Headrest.
I'll go all Pinterest on it.
Oh.
No, it's not Pinterest. It's Etsy. I'll go all Etsy on it. Handmade things.
And make what?
I'll make a replica golden gun out of cardboard, toilet rolls, cardboard boxes, and it'll be great.
Look, you're not 8 years old.
Oh.
No one's going to find that cute.
Damn.
It's just going to be sad.
Oh. I've run out of ideas.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could do.
I can't. This doesn't exist.
Unless some sort of a bulldog would be pretty good. Pretty sweet.
I mean, that's... Yeah. It's good that they're doing that. They need to do more.
Yeah, I think so.
And cheaper. Well, maybe not cheaper, but just more.
Cheap stuff.
Just make it all in China. It's fine.
Oh, no, come on.
Get rid of the royal bit. I don't care if it's Royal Dalton. They can be churned out for all I care.
Hold on, let's have a look. Where was this made? Doop-a-doo. Well, Royal Dalton are based in Stoke-on-Trent.
That's nice.
It's not a great city, I've heard.
Oh.
Made in Thailand. There we go.
Oh.
So that's not too bad.
No.
They've done a bloody good job.
Alright, okay.
Well
done. Well done, Thailand people. No, I will think of something.
Well, you've only got like a week to go, Joe.
Well, I'd like to take it with me to the cinema.
Oh.
Look at me, everyone. I made this.
I made this at home.
Everyone, look at me.
Bow, bow, bow.
Stop the film. Hey, you down there in the front row. Have you seen this?
Hey, you.
What about? No, I don't know. The duck disguise in Goldfinger. That would be quite good.
That'd be
the
great.
duck hat.
Dark hat, yeah.
That's doable. There's so many things. Next podcast, I'll have something.
Oh, well, I look forward to that.
I probably won't.
Okay, well, I think that's about it. Unless there's anything else you'd like to discuss.
I would like to moan about one minor thing as we're on the topic of Bond.
Okay.
I'm being punished for not having ad block because every time there's a video now, it's a bloody Spectre trailer.
Is that on YouTube?
YouTube, everywhere, loads of websites.
I haven't seen any on YouTube, but because I watch the NFL, they keep playing trailers in the ad breaks.
Yeah.
So I have to mute it, minimize, wait, and then bring it back up again.
It's difficult.
It looks like it's going to be quite dark, this film, but I've only seen like the first 5 seconds of the 2 TV spots they've done.
Yeah, I've heard like one line spoken. No, stop.
You've got a secret, haven't you? No, he doesn't. Nope.
Stupid auto-playing crap.
No secrets here. Nope, just a nice guy with a gun.
That's bugged me, but that's all.
Yes. Because now I'm forming like a sort of opinion on what I think the film is going to be on like 10 seconds that I've seen. It's not fair. Because I'm not watching any films at the cinema, so I don't see it.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have to just not watch anything. Apart from my developer commentaries of Ratchet Clank, because they don't have adverts.
Oh, good guys. Not in it for the money, for that YouTube money.
No, that's sick YouTube money. But also, I'm really close to the Bond-a-thon that I'm going to have as well.
Oh, right. And how's that? Is it, what are you doing?
Just the Craig films, nothing too fancy.
Oh, yeah, you are, aren't you? Yeah.
But that's because it works out to... Because I'm seeing on the Saturday, so the Monday, Casino Royale, Wednesday, Quantum of Solace, Friday, Skyfall, and then Saturday, Spectre. So that works out quite nicely.
Are you sure you don't want to throw in a few more?
Like what?
Don't you see, GoldenEye you really like?
Yeah, I could do,
Why not a cheeky GoldenEye in there?
Okay, so... That's what I've got. It's very nice and complete and makes sense. The moment I start expanding it beyond that, it's going to get all horrible.
Why?
Like I guess I could expand it to my favourite Bond films.
Yeah, you don't have to do all of them.
But then, where do you stop that? Because I would want GoldenEye in there. I would want Goldfinger in there. I'd want From Russia with Love in there. And maybe even a Roger Moore film if I... Roger Moore. That's what I meant to say. Film in there. Maybe The Spy Who Loved Me, something like that.
Yeah, get rid of Goldfinger.
No.
And have just one of each. Yeah, no, drop Goldfinger. For Russia Love's better.
No, you gotta watch Goldfinger.
No, drop it. It's for the best.
No, it's not for the best.
No, it's For Russia Love is the better of the two.
But then how would I do that? Because I've got 2 slots on that week, the Tuesday and the Thursday. So would I guess I would have to move everything down along. So it would be Wednesday Casino Royale, Thursday Quantum of Solace, Friday Skyfall. And that leaves me the Monday and the Tuesday.
No, here's what you do. Monday,
okay.
GoldenEye. No, sorry, right. I'm getting them mixed up. Right, no, wait. Monday is From Russia with Love.
Right, good start.
Tuesday, Spy Who Loved Me.
Right.
Wednesday is GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, right.
Thursday, Casino Royale.
Nice, good choice.
Friday, you watch about 5 minutes of Quantum of Solace. Watch the good parts. Then go straight on to Skyfall.
The last 5 minutes.
Then go straight on to Skyfall.
No, because, okay, normally I would do that. But I feel like I haven't seen it in so long.
It's actually not that bad.
The Daniel... Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's just average.
Yeah.
But it's such like... The Daniel Craig films are such a continuing on story. Like, or as close as it's kind of come with Bond in recent years. You know, they all kind of connect together. Mr. White's going to be in this one. That just for the sake of getting all the backstory for Spectre, you kind of have to watch it all.
Okay, right. Stick with what I just said, but then instead of watching only 5 minutes of it, watch it at like 5 times the speed. So everything's,
right.
Everything's chipmunk sounding, and then you have time for Skyfall as well.
Or just watch a terrible YouTube movie review of it.
Yeah, or that too. There's lots to choose from.
There's so a wealth of terrible YouTube reviews on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm going to stick with my other plan.
Fine.
I'm happy with that. If I had a little bit more time, if I had a couple more days in there to watch Bond films, and also if I watch one Bond film every day for 6 days, I might overload a little bit. It shouldn't happen. I should be completely fine, should still be hyped and excited for Spectre, but there is that chance that watching one every day would overload a little bit.
Yeah, there is a chance, but it could go the other way and whet your appetite even more so.
But if that happens, like, I can adjust and maybe watch another one, but, I can, at least at this point, I know I'm going to enjoy it. Guaranteed. Apart from Wednesday, but Monday, Friday are solid.
Okay. I mean, go with your gut.
Listen, Tuesday boy. I don't want to hear any of it out of you.
Well, yeah, if you don't want to watch The Spy Love Me, then don't.
I would like to rewatch it. It's just now it's not the time. If I had the Blu-ray set, it's not the time. I guess what I could do, right? Here's a Bondorific, Bondtastic
Bonorific,
idea.
Ew.
A bonorific. Yeah, that's not what I meant.
I was thinking of you
still
too,
got... Oh, right. GoldenEye, it works.
Yeah.
It's like, that plan is for Monday the 26th and that week. But I've still got a whole other week next week.
You have?
So I could have this week be Classic Bond.
Vintage Bond.
Vintage Bond week. And then the week after would be nothing but the Craigster.
Contemporary Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Postmodern.
Because then you could do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the... Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
That'd totally work.
Let's go to Amazon.
Well, you haven't got the films?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Oh, this is disappointing.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have the Blu-ray box set. And it's got to be Blu-ray. I mean,
just buy the DVDs, goddammit.
Let's get the most expensive one. Here we go, £9 for the Blu-ray. That's not bad.
There's a new Blu-ray set coming out.
Is there?
Yeah. Get that one.
Nah.
It is quite expensive.
There you go, From Russia With Love, £7.28. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I mean, I'm not forcing you to spend money here, alright? You do what you want.
The Spy Who Loved Me. £7.66. There we go, that's not too bad.
Have you got
or I could just go to CGX and CEX.
Oh, God, CEX. Actually, they don't have Bond films. Or at least the one I went in, they didn't. I was very disappointed.
Mine one does.
I looked all over.
No, mine one does. They put it all under, like, Bond or something. Like, they group them.
Yeah, I couldn't see any.
Oh.
Obviously, everyone loves Bond too much to trade it in.
It's all been sold out.
Sold out.
As soon as one comes in, it goes straight back out again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should skip From Russia With Love.
I think you should end the podcast
and watch A View to a Kill, yeah.
No, why not? I mean, Roger Moore is nearly 60 and is kind of
he's so
a corpse.
old.
So it's fine. That's a good film.
He was already losing it.
I think he was 58, which is perfectly fine for a 50-year-old to be sleeping with like early 20-year-old women and things. That's fine. It's a great film.
No.
Good song though.
I was saying Roger less, please.
I think the world was at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger, no more.
Roger, no more. Hey. That's a spicy meatball right there.
That is a spicy meatball.
Right, let's all go home.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, what's going on with your channel, Joe? Nothing exciting, I've
Sphinx
heard.
Monkey Island. Boom, done.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
New Let's Plays.
Pew pew.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I got the Ratchet Clank 2 review done. I'm already working on the third one. Because once I have the trilogy done, then I can kind of take it as a nice slow pace. But I want that trilogy under my belt. especially for when the remake comes out next year. But so that
all those YouTube hits.
Yes, that YouTube money. You got to get it straight away.
Got to prepare for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Pokemon Y, which is going fine, I guess. Not looking forward to having to do like 40 parts of that, but we'll see how it goes.
Let's Play's fun, isn't it?
It's
a blast.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Thank you for showing up. That was dope.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope. Thank you.
And are you going to be watching any Bond films next week?
Definitely. I think I definitely need to do the Casino Royale Quantum of Solace thing, because I haven't seen those in a while. Yeah. I don't know. I'll probably throw in a few Roger Moore ones in there. Why not?
Nothing but Roger Moore.
And Sean Connery.
Oh man, I can't wait for Roger Moore and Spectre. It's going to be sick.
And also, just before we end the podcast, it was Roger Moore's and Ben Wishaw's birthday a few days ago.
Yes, I saw the tweet.
Roger Moore is now 88. Happy birthday, Roger Moore.
Here's to another 88, hey Rog.
Well, I mean, he looks like he shouldn't be 88, but, go for it.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking, man.
You old Bond.
Yep.
All right. See you next week, everybody.
See ya.